Welcome to Deliverance Tube, where spiritual battles end in victory. Freedom starts here.
Peace be unto you, beloved viewers. Welcome once again to Deliverance Tube, where truth meets revelation. If you're new here, you are warmly welcome, and to all our returning family, thank you for joining us again. Today's topic touches almost every African home, and it's one question that has divided families and confused couples for generations. Traditional marriage versus court marriage. Which one truly counts before God, in law, society, and your personal legacy? Some say the traditional rites are enough. Others insist it's only valid when registered in court. But what does the Bible say? What does the law say? And how can couples walk in truth without falling into error? We'll dig into what each form means, how they differ, their advantages and risks, and the all-important question, which one holds stronger legal weight? Whether you're planning to marry, advising someone, or simply curious, stay tuned. Stay with us as we unravel this mystery together. Understanding the two marriages. Let's begin with understanding what these two forms mean. In Nigeria, and much of Africa, there are mainly two recognized types of marriage. 1. Traditional or customary marriage. A marriage under native law and custom, where families meet, dowry is paid, and blessings are given. 2. Statutory or court marriage. Done under the Marriage Act, often in a registry or licensed church, recognized by the government. The traditional marriage is cultural, rooted in family and community acceptance. The court marriage is legal. It gives you documented rights and recognition under national law. The statutory marriage is sometimes called a court marriage or registry wedding, though technically it's governed by the Marriage Act and related laws. The customary marriage is the union conducted according to the customs of the parties, tribe or community. In many cases with bride price, family negotiations, handing over of the bride, witnesses and traditional rites. How each one works. Essentials and formalities. Now, what does each require in practice? What are the formalities? Let's take a look at statutory marriage or court marriage. Under the Marriage Act, you must meet certain conditions. At least one party to the marriage must resident in the district. Age requirement, 21, or if younger with parental consent. The ceremony must be at a licensed place of worship, or at the office of a registrar of marriages. Importantly, no party should already be married under customary or traditional law to someone else at the time of entering into the statutory marriage. With that in mind, let's move to customary or traditional marriage. This is governed by the customary law of the tribe and the community. Key ingredients include the consent of parties, consent of families, payment of bride price, or dowry, or equivalent. Handing over of the bride. Ceremony in presence of witnesses. It may not always require formal registration under statute, though some states or localities may require registration. The key differences, legal and practical. Let's compare them side by side. You'll see why many people ask the question, which one truly counts? 1. Monogamy versus polygamy. Statutory marriage under the Act is strictly monogamous, one man, one woman, to the exclusion of all others. It provides a marriage certificate, proof of union, and legal rights during inheritance, divorce, or property settlement. Customary marriages may allow polygamy depending on the custom, e.g. several wives, and some may even have variations in how these operate. 2. Registration and certificate. Statutory marriage produces a statutory marriage certificate, which strengthens proof and rights. Customary marriage, It's recognized by native law, but may lack formal documentation unless registered. Proof often relies on testimony, ceremonies, and family recognition. 3. Legal protections, rights and remedies. Statutory marriages have clearer pathways for divorce or dissolution under laws, like the Matrimonial Causes Act, and clearer rights for property, maintenance, and inheritance. Customary marriages may face uncertainties. Rights depend heavily on the custom, family dynamics, and may lack full statutory protections. 4. Social and family recognition. Although statutory marriages are legally robust, in many Nigerian communities, a customary marriage is socially essential for full recognition by families and the extended community. The traditional marriage shows the family's consent and cultural identity. The court marriage gives the same union legal strength, recognized by the law and by other nations. One establishes family recognition, the other ensures legal protection. Both are important, but they serve different purposes. So if legal clarity is your goal, property, inheritance, international travel, the court marriage provides the safest foundation. Which one has stronger legal weight? So when someone asks, which counts? The traditional marriage generally carries stronger weight. Let's unpack that. Under the Marriage Act, no marriage in Nigeria shall be valid under the Act where either of the parties is married under customary law to any person other than the person with whom such marriage is had. If you have a customary marriage and you later also do a statutory marriage, the statutory marriage tends to take precedence, provided it fulfills the statutory requirements in terms of regulation. For marital rights like divorce, property settlements, clear certificate, the statutory route is clearer and legally safer. But, and this is important, the customary marriage does count and is recognized under Nigerian law. It is not meaningless. Courts have recognized valid customary marriages provided the essential requirements are met: consent, bride price, ceremony, etc. Thus, the stronger form depends on what you want. If you seek maximum legal protection, go statutory. If you value cultural legitimacy and family recognition, customary matters very much, and maybe both. Real-life implications: wealth, inheritance, divorce and power. Now let's talk about practical implications, because marriage doesn't just charitably bind two people, it can affect wealth, business decisions, inheritance, property, power and legacy. Inheritance and succession. In a statutory marriage, rights of inheritance are more clearly defined under law. In customary marriages, the rights may vary by custom. Widows may face critical challenges. Property and settlement. Dissolution of statutory marriage is regulated. Property can be redistributed or fairly settled. But in customary marriages, rights may hinge on tradition and the goodwill of the family. Business and contractual clarity. Suppose you're a business person, or you own assets. Having a marriage recognized under the Act ensures clearer documentation, avoids legal ambiguity, which is beneficial for wealth protection. Multiple marriage risk. If you're in a customary union, and then go into a statutory marriage without resolving things, you may expose your estate and your partner to legal uncertainty. The Act forbids contracting a statutory marriage if you are already married under custom to someone else. Cultural and social capital. On the flip side, doing the customary rites may enhance your standing within your family or community. This has its own power, respect, relational wealth. From a wealth mindset, document everything. Marriage is a transaction of sorts, combining emotional, social and financial assets. Ensure you protect your inputs, wealth, business, rights, and your spouse's position. Now we arrived at common mistakes couples make. Many couples make one of two mistakes. 1. They do only the traditional rites and assume it's automatically recognized by law, until problems arise in inheritance or divorce cases. 2. Others rush to court marriage without family involvement, creating bitterness and rejection from relatives. Both errors can be avoided by balance: honor the tradition, but fulfill the law. There is also a spiritual angle. In traditional settings, some marriage rites include ancestral rituals or libations that can open spiritual doors if not done with discernment. As Christians, we must separate culture from covenant, perform the rites that honor parents and community, but reject anything that violates God's word. Court marriage doesn't replace spiritual purity. Either living together before marriage or outside God's will is still sin, even if it's registered in court. So the real question is not just which one counts in law, but which one honors God. So, which should you choose? If you seek peace both legally and spiritually, the best counsel is, do both the right way. Do your traditional rites to honor families, ensure it's clean of ungodly practices. Then, complete it with court registration to secure your legal rights. That way, your marriage stands before both God and man, sacred, legitimate, and secure. If you already did a traditional marriage, check whether you need to register it or supplement it with a statutory marriage, especially if you hold assets, plan international travel, or anticipate legal challenges later. If you are in a union and did not register under the Act, but did customary rites, recognize there may be gray areas and you may want legal advice to perfect your marriage. From a wealth mindset, document everything. Marriage is a transaction of sorts, combining emotional, social and financial assets. Ensure you protect your inputs, wealth, business, rights, and your spouse's position. Case study. To make it real, let me tell you a quick story of Emmanuel and Ruth. They did a vibrant traditional wedding in Igbo land, bride price paid, families met, celebration held. But they skipped the statutory registration. Years later, when they moved abroad for work, they encountered problems: no certificate, difficulty proving marriage for immigration and for property rights. Then they had to rush a registry marriage, pay more, and still had to explain the first ceremony. On the other hand, Sarah and Alfred did both. Traditional ceremony, then registry the next week. When Alfred's business grew and an investor asked for his marital status and asset profile, the marriage certificate and solid documentation helped clear things quickly. So you see, both ceremonies have value, but the combination gives you cultural legitimacy and legal security. Lessons and advice for aspiring individuals. Beloved, here are key lessons from today's teaching. 1. A true marriage must honor both God and rightful authority. 2. Legality without purity leads to bondage. 3. Always involve prayer and seek godly counsel before you marry. 4. Remember, marriage is not a show, it's a covenant before God and men. 5. Don't assume that only one form of marriage counts, understand both. 6. Documentation is power. Whether you're marrying traditionally or in court, get the proofs, records, certificates. 7. Think long term. How will this union affect your business, assets, children, inheritance? 8. Respect culture, but don't neglect legal structure. The synergy is strongest. 9. If you enter a customary marriage, consider how you will upgrade to statutory protection over time, if needed. 10. Seek legal advice early, especially if you anticipate significant assets, cross-border issues, or complex family dynamics. 11. Finally, treat your marriage as part of your wealth infrastructure, your personal brand, family foundation, and legacy structure. Make it count. Thank you for watching this deep dive into traditional versus court marriage. Which one truly counts? If you found this video valuable, please hit the like button, share it with friends who are planning to marry or need clarity. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Deliverance Tube and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next episodes. Drop a comment below. Are you planning a marriage soon? Which route are you choosing? Traditional, statutory, or both, and why? I'd love to hear your story, respectfully. Thanks for being part of the community. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay ambitious, stay empowered, remain steadfast in the word, walk in purity, and let the peace of God rule in your home. God bless you. Bye for now.